And keep in mind, the chick had a plan too. Like, yo, we could do things. And I can guarantee you the conversation with Emery, even when Emery came home and seen, he came home and seen the same thing. Yo, you dealing with her?
Who's the chick?
Desiree.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
He came home and had to see it too. Say, yo, what is this? And I can tell you how that conversation probably went. Like, look, man, you don't need to worry about this. You don't need to worry about nothing else ever again. You over here with us now. But what if, yo, she a snitch? Man, f that snitch, bro. Them people that's talking about that snitch, we ain't gonna be breathing in the same ear. Them, that's what you worried about. Them that don't have nothing sitting home. Where you gonna be if you don't get on this side of town, get on this side? I can see that conversation happening.
The Haven says that's exactly how Jay-Z responded when others around him started to get a lot of flack. He did not dispute this. He wasn't against the system. He was on its side. This is when the political component comes into play. DeHaven claims that Jay-Z has long since come to the realization that fame and wealth do not guarantee safety. It comes from relationships with those in charge of investigations, narratives, and outcomes. Once such ties are formed, they also don't give a damn about politics like regular people do. Whether you lean left, right, Democratic, or MAGA is irrelevant. Power and power work in tandem.
Bro, this is what I'm saying, telling you. This is what will drive you insane. Trying to figure out what.
Right.
Is it just this?
Right.
Cause this is all I know. Cause if it ain't that, is that? Is it the snitch? Is it your informant friend? Did they come to you? Did they get you? When did they get you?
Right.
Is that what you hiding? Is that what it is? Because this don't make no sense.
What happened after he effectively pleaded his own case upset DeHaven the most. When he got back home, he expected at least a conversation. Instead, Jay-Z cut him off completely. No loyalty, no explanation, just silence. For DeHaven, the silence spoke everything. He believes that Jay-Z was unable to afford any loose ends or a conversation with him. Once you're operating at a level where political protection and federal connections are involved, even long-standing friends become liabilities. When asked why Jay-Z never seems to be impacted while those around him fall apart, DeHaven gives a simple explanation. Rather than escaping the system, Jay-Z is working with it. Dame Dash continues. This behavior ultimately led to the permanent end of their relationship. He explains that he couldn't proceed past a specific point in time. One decision told him everything he needed to know about Jay-Z's morals. Even though Aaliyah was already facing serious charges at the time, Jay made the decision to work with R. Kelly on a big project.
Yeah, when Jay did a project with R. Kelly, knowing that he had Aaliyah. How much more of that? You know what I'm saying? What more would you need? So your supposed best friend, partner, does a project with someone that he knows your partner's girl when she was a child. And you still say that had nothing to do with me, I'm gonna still get money with him. You know, that one that was a wake-up call for real, for sure. And I don't think anyone that's human, if anyone could look the other way from that, they're a sucker. That a man should stop calling themselves a man if they can hang out with a dude that will work with someone the person they love. And yeah, I was told by Aaliyah, do not ruffle no feathers, because it's going to bring more awareness to it, and she wanted to move on. So she said, yo, you could be around, but I wouldn't be around the projects, but that record they did together, you know, you could be in the video, actually be in the video, because I wasn't going to go. She told me to go be in the video. She said, just don't be in no scenes or take no pictures with him. And I did that. I respected that.
Man, that must have been really, really hard for you. I can't even imagine how tough something like that would be.
Well, you know, it wasn't like I was crying about it, and it just made me look at someone that I a different way. And I knew that there wasn't too much more of a future moving forward. You know, I just I just realized that, again, our moral fabric was different.
Dame was even more amazed at how long people continue to ignore the situation that he says that when someone is arrested or made public, everyone always seems to find their conscience. Until then, they say nothing. They are still showing up. They keep doing this until it is no longer fashionable.
And after 30, it's like almost like the devil comes and says, I'm gonna give you 30 years to do what you want, but then it turns out bad. So I was surprised it took so long for something to happen, just based on what I was hearing. I was surprised it took so long for people. Like, it was crazy to me that the only time people say they're not fucking with somebody is when they get busted. But if they know it, they still fucking with them. They just don't fuck with them when it's not in style anymore. So that was more my thing. I was like, y'all know what this, when people were still fucking with it. And I was just like, I felt sorry for humans overall, because it was like, where's the humanity? Where's the like personal respect for yourself and morals? Like, you just do what everybody does. And it's still like that. So, like, again, with most of the people that are jammed up right now, people knew it. They just didn't say nothing until everybody else did. See, that's where I get somewhat ostracized, because I say things and call people out before it's fashionable. I call it out as soon as I see it. So you gotta remember, pause, I was beefing with the Weinstein. And damn near everybody else that I don't quit, it turns out that there was a reason for it that was justified. It's just everybody else was scared to say something.
Man, that's crazy, man.
When you're a futuristic thinker, you could see good things that are gonna happen, and you could see bad things that are gonna happen. It's just using logic. 1 + 1 = 2. Illegal stuff for a certain amount of time equals, at some point, you're gonna get jammed up. It's just, sometimes it bugs me out how long it be taking. But there's a lot of things that are going on in this world today that I'm like, I can't believe it hasn't, when are these motherfuckers gonna get their skirt pulled? Pause, you know what I mean? Like, when are people gonna be able to see the real logic behind the evil that everyone worships? Is unconsciously worshiping someone that's evil devil worship? I think it is, whether you're conscious of it or not. The devil's never gonna tell you they're the devil. They're gonna come and make you think they're God, and then you're gonna worship them. That's why I'm really particular about the way I move on holidays, because I don't know really what the fucking holiday means.
This is all connected to Dame's childhood. Harlem taught him the value of morals over material possessions, that you don't compromise your ethics to keep a relationship going, and that knowing when to give up is just as important as learning how to be successful. This is why he left Jay-Z. Some others think that because Jay-Z is conscious of how close the spotlight is, he might be in front of Diddy right now. On not only Diddy but everyone connected to him. And Jaguar Wright says that anxiousness isn't random. She says Jay-Z knows the precise ending of the movie because he has lived in the same world. Jaguar claims that her perspective is grounded in her own experiences. In the early 2000s, she served as a backup vocalist for Jay-Z's inner circle. She asserts that what she saw behind the scenes was entirely different from the public perception. She also said that there was no character difference between Jay-Z and Diddy. It was a critical moment.
Sean Carter is just as bad as the diddler. And I know that for a fact. I got the scars to prove it.
So there's been so many people on the internet trying to figure out where you are. They're watching you. They're doing all types of stuff trying to figure you out.
You want to know what a box cutter feels like going into your skin and ripping you? I can tell you how it feels. Y'all ain't seen it yet. That Cassie that's nothing.
So are you trying to say like Jay-Z put hands on you?
I'm saying Sean Carter remembers everything he did to me and he's got it on tape. just like Diddy. And they're gonna be crazy. It's gonna be the women that give them in the end.
So you say that that
Jay-Z. And I think it's time for him to start speaking up about his very good
She believes that Jay-Z is trying to keep his name out of the debate. Not out of loyalty, but because it's dangerous to be near when the walls start to close in. Jaguar then makes the image larger. She expresses worries about how certain performers, such as Rihanna, were discovered, dealt with, and promoted in the industry at an early age, often without the same safeguards that most parents would desire.
What would it take for Jay-Z to go down like Diddy did?
I don't know. But I got an idea that Evan Rogers is going to help me figure that out.
And who is Evan?
Evan was the producer who only seemed to work on teeny bopper projects, who discovered Rihanna at 3 a.m. in the morning in a hotel room on the island where she comes from, with no parental supervision. And then she was put on a private plane, a minor, from one country to another, without parental supervision. And she ended up in a boardroom with Mr. Carter, without parental supervision. Y'all got young children. Would you just let your daughter leave and go to a whole other country with some money you don't know?
Absolutely not.
Doing talent shows at 3 a.m.
So you're saying that the rumors are true. There are rumors circulating that Rihanna was actually tracked here. Are you saying that
Starting to
that's...
sound that way, don't it? Because her daddy ain't show up till 24 hours later to pick up a $500,000 check for his daughters.
Jay-Z's decision to get in now is primarily driven by self-preservation, according to Jaguar. She claims that Jay-Z has always put upholding his reputation ahead of fixing the damage. When someone close to you is ready to fall, you can either let them fall with you or swiftly establish distance between you and them.
Why Jay-Z is doing this to Diddy now? Is it to keep his name out
hermit
there?
crab. He can't stand being himself, not for 1 minute. That's why he likes assuming other people's lives. He wears them until he outgrows them, and then he finds another persona. He crawls into that. I wish somebody would just take him back to Marcy for a visit and drop him off. That would be an interesting homecoming and homegoing. He's the shame of Brooklyn.
She feels that Jay-Z is not defending Diddy since they are pals. He is defending the system that benefited them both. Because when one pillar fails, people start to pay attention to the others. But Jaguar Wright's interpretation of the whole thing really caught everybody off guard. She doesn't think Diddy is the mastermind that everyone thinks he is. She believes he could be a pawn, someone who is being used by somebody with more power and aspirational objectives. She recounts how those close to him used to discuss the same strange vibe. Rather than welcoming them warmly, he would ask, "How does it feel? You've done IT," that IT was seen as a time to express gratitude for just being around him. But there were other remarks he made about himself. Jaguar points out that he wasn't the only one who thought he was successful. He spoke as if he were conversing on a whole different level.
By just being around him. But then again, when you listen to some of the way that he was referring to himself, like talking about he can only compare himself to the Son of God and oh, you know, it's been so long. So I forgot how to get to my tone, and I've been rapping so long and listening to myself that I forgot how to be myself. And it's like watching, I don't want y'all sitting here looking like watching Jesus walk on water, learning how to walk on water. Like,
yeah, no. Even the fact that he told everyone, y'all are rock stars, y'all are hot. I'm the level of hot. So he's saying, don't ever think you're bigger than me when I'm in the room. I'm like, just that thought process is.
No, just not even that. He was like, y'all hot and I'm lukewarm. Y'all not gonna, don't think I'm gonna sit here and let y'all be hot while I'm lukewarm. That's what he said. So basically what he was saying is y'all not doing enough to turn me up. Don't think that I'm gonna let y'all look good and y'all don't work harder at making me look good. But he's referring to himself as God? As the son of God? Like, I don't know what people want to believe. I don't know why people want to believe what they believe. It's wild to me. It's just kind of crazy to me. I mean, they did what they needed to do in this documentary. The whole objective of this documentary was to blame it all on Diddy. The devil made me do it. Blame it all on Diddy. And the rest of the industry is nothing like this. Like when Curtis Jackson sat there in his interview with Robin and sat there and said, I did this because I don't want people thinking that the hip hop community is okay with this kind of behavior. I don't want them thinking that, we're just going to be silent while all of this is going on. Like, we're okay with this kind of behavior. And my thing is,
That's the real source of her irritation. If this behavior was so awful, why were so many people aware of it for years? Why did it only become a problem when lawsuits and cameras were involved? The symbols, which most people overlooked, are then mentioned by Jaguar. In strong music circles, she noticed the recurrent pictures, the pyramid imagery, and the same hand signals. She found it strange that the identical symbols showed up on both painters and reporters covering the topic outside the courthouse. The bigger picture, in her opinion, starts to take shape there.
You want to know the one thing that I'm finding also very interesting that nobody's paying attention to? The presence of that pyramid. That the same thing that the Rock Nation likes to put up, the same hand symbol that the sororities and the fraternities like to use. I'm not going to emulate it because you know exactly what it looks like. Yep. The pyramid sign that Diddy was wearing that around his neck. You want to know what I found funny? That there were a bunch of YouTubers that were at that courthouse that were wearing that same, it was a much smaller version, but that same symbol.
Yeah.
I think, and that's the part of this story that makes it possible for people, I think, to graze over the reality of all that's going on. If you just look at it from the salacious celebrity stuff, from pop culture media, so-called this new media, and I'm really not liking that term, this new media, because what it really sounds like is the name of a gang. Like, the media is media. Because I'm looking at the people that are falling under it, and they're all the same people that are involved with, creating these propaganda campaigns. But that's exactly what Diddy was saying at the beginning of the documentary. We need somebody that is proficient, or fluent in being able to spin propaganda and narratives. We need social media. I guess that new media, is that what that is? Like, it's if you only look at it from the face value aspect of it, that's one thing. But if you look to the spiritual side of it, it's completely different. It unveils a much deeper a much deeper agenda.
This is when a much more important question starts to emerge. What if these recordings weren't just isolated incidents? If they were kept on as leverage, what would happen? As it happens, that is exactly the case. Gene Deal asserts that the silence of America's biggest stars speaks more than words ever could. These people aren't chosen at random. They include public figures, CEOs, celebrities, and people who have reputations, brands, and money to protect. And Gon says that's exactly why they don't say anything.
It's all about the money. They saw what he did to Cassie. With the kicking, the punching. They saw what they did to Cassie. They know that nobody in America liked that. So now, these people are represented by a brand. Whether it's some about the music, clothing, movies. They're not gonna come out and speak on nothing that has anything to do with them. And they praying that they not on the tape doing crazy stuff, being oiled up in the whole 9 yards. They praying. So until the feds say, hey, yo, listen here. We got you on, hey buddy, we got you on this tape, and girl looked like she was pretty young. We're not gonna show it, but we need you to come and testify against Brother Love, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, you know, Sean Combs. That's when they're gonna start talking. And they're not gonna be talking in his favor. When the feds come to them and show them what they got on tape, because if he had 250 tapes all over, 250 cameras all over the house, somebody got caught spilling a cookie out the cookie jar. It could be your favorite pastor. It could be your favorite politician.
This is how leverage is created, says Gene. He observes that even people who once appeared to be close to Diddy have said nothing. They know too much, not that they don't know anything at all.
When you don't know somebody's taping you, when you don't know that somebody is videoing you in some kind of form or fashion, you got that alcohol, you got the drugs in you, they're a little loose, bruh. They let down all their inhibitions. The music is pumping. He said it himself. He got it so hot in there that you got to take your clothes off. He said that himself, bruh. So a lot of them, like what was what he said? I think a lot of them was being swallowed. Have you ever been swallowed? They tell off on themselves all the time, man. You just gotta listen.
But why do you think Diddy had all them hidden cameras?
Bruh, when you that powerful, you didn't get that powerful without having 1 or 2 or maybe 3 ups on somebody. Diddy always been the type of individual that want to have ups on the next person no matter what they was doing. Like, he always played artists against each other. He did it to Big, he did it to Craig Mack. You understand? I said before, he did the stuff to Ja Rule, you know what I'm saying? So had the ups on Ja Rule so he could go after Jay-Z. You understand what I'm saying? So he always played those kind of up games on people. So to have those cameras and know what he was doing, it's gonna give him the ups on everybody.
According to Gene, everything ultimately leads to the same conclusion. Whatever those records may hold, they are the real threat. They narrate multiple stories. They connect many people to a single place, system, and source of control. Gene Deal raises another uncomfortable point. These events weren't always personally hosted by Diddy. Some allegedly lasted for long stretches of time and were organized by those close to him, such family. This is important because it expands the pool of possible participants and alters accountability.
Did the Federal Bureau of Investigation in Miami do it? No, they didn't. Did California do it? No, they did not. The Southern District of New York, they took it upon themselves and put on that raid and everything based on the information they found in Cassie lawsuit and the information they found in Little Rod lawsuit. But all this is bigger than Diddy. It's bigger than Diddy, bro. Cause you know who else they was doing investigation on during that whole time period? It was the mayor and the politicians in New York City. They turn around and give him the key to the city. All the mayor people that he brought on here in New York City are all resigning. They all resigning. People ain't gonna tie this together, but if you look at it, you have to say, because of Mayor Adams and his relationship with Diddy, it brought on the Southern District of New York to start investigating Diddy on civil lawsuits that was put against him. Because the feds is going after all these politicians in New York City.
Who else do you think could be able to come down if these tapes are ever made available? Tell us in the space below for comments.